Okay, let's go ahead and watch this video. I did see a clip of this interaction on Piers Morgan before, but we're gonna watch this Too Lazy to Try video so that we can all have a little bit of fun together. Now, I've said before that Piers Morgan is the Maury Povich of political talk shows. Like, because basically it is just, I'm gonna bring on two people that hate each other and we're going to have them fight on camera so that everybody can go, ooh, oh, like at the, you know, at how insane everything becomes as they all start yelling at each other and it descends into madness. And I'm here for it. So apparently this guy is from the PBD Patrick Bet David valuetainment universe, I think. This is Dave Smith. Yeah, Dave Smith, who I think he's like a libertarian. Like a libertarian that, like, I guess you could say, I mean, I hate to say this about libertarians because I don't usually trust them that much, like their ideology, but if there is such a thing as an authentic libertarian, I would say that he's probably one of them. You know what I'm saying? So so they're going to get in a fight here, I think, over Israel. So let's go ahead and watch this Too Lazy to Try video where I guess PBD is calling out his co-host for humiliating himself in debate with Dave Smith. And from what I saw, he did. This guy over here, he did humiliate himself on this. But let's go ahead and see what happens.
Memo, here you go, Dave. Remember this memo from Wesley Clark that you used to cite everything?
This is a
I didn't see this part. Oh, God. He brought a prop, dude. Oh.
You used to cite, yeah.
Adam, I'm not quite sure. What is the point you're making?
The point is this: Dave has zero credibility at this point.
Well, you don't really get to decide
and he
that.
Ran
you know,
into
So, and also, sorry, this is going to be another thing. This guy is really, really dumb. And you're like, if you've ever watched the PBD show, he is always the one with the dumbest takes out of everybody. So you're like, you'll probably figure that out pretty quick, but I'm just giving you a heads up.
somebody
the audience gets
that
to decide
completely
that.
bullied. What audience?
Okay.
The four
Well,
people
can
that show up
I
to your
respond?
comedy show at the You live in America, tough guy. You have the luxury of sitting
I
in
didn't
your
say
little
the country.
studio
I'm saying
with
the
your hooded
regime.
sweater
The regime.
like you're 17 years old.
Adam, I'm
Who's your
17 years
who's
old.
your favorite president of the last 50
I have
years?
a wife and children. Who depends on you, Adam? Your mom?
Oh, Piers, you you know you lost when Piers is chuckling like this at you, dude. It's bad.
Okay, I also
Yeah,
have
I mean, if you want to make it
significant
personal,
other. So you want to
if
go
you wanna
personal?
you have a significant
Hey,
other.
we can go as
Anyway,
personal.
You can't do that, man. When someone says, I have a wife and kids, who depends on you? You can't say, oh, well, I have a significant other, because it just makes you sound like a child. Like you're proving his point, basically. I mean, nothing against people having, like, not being in like a, you know, committed, like, marriage relationship or whatever. Some people don't want to do that, but it does kind of make you look like like a child, basically, especially in this situation here.
Where do you go and be professionals? That's not how I handle debates. I don't handle debates that way. That's not my MO. So if you're close to me and you're handling it that way, that is not my style. This next phase requires all of us to recreate ourselves, and that includes you. And you have to make a decision on what you want to do.
Oh, he's getting chewed out.
You got,
dude. This is his boss, right? This is Patrick Bet David himself. Can you imagine if your boss like just came up and told you this? Like, you got to recreate yourself, man. You really didn't do good out there. People were clowning on you too hard. Oof, that's got to be rough, man.
How to recreate yourself.
Sure. All right, so Patrick Bet David's co-host, Adam, recently did a debate with Dave Smith on
PBD Adam,
show,
that's what his name
and
is.
Dave made an absolute fool out of him. Well, actually, Adam just made a fool out of himself. You know, Dave really didn't have to do much. But it was so bad, PBD had to talk with Adam about it publicly because he knows Adam is terrible for his brand. Even PBD's fans can't stand him. Every podcast for like the past year, there are always a ton of comments talking about how annoying he is and how PBD needs to fire him, which after this debate, he might be considering if Adam doesn't change, because this was so humiliating.
Adam can't change, man. I think he, like, legitimately, I think he is, like, very, very, very stupid. Like, I just don't think he's capable of learning, like, if PBD is moving into the politics sphere, which it feels like it kind of is, like, I think it started out as more of like a business show or something, but it's really moving into a lot of like geopolitics, which, to be fair, all of them are fucking idiots when it comes to geopolitics. Like, none of them know what the fuck they're talking about. Every single one of them buys American propaganda, like willingly, like just like shovels it into their mouth. Okay, they have no critical thinking. They don't know historical context. So like, they're all idiots when it comes to geopolitics. But most of them can present themselves as somewhat competent by just like aesthetically, right? Because they are all incompetent when it comes to this, but they can present themselves as competent, which in America is really all you fucking need. Because most other people in America who are watching like Piers Morgan are also fucking idiots as well. You know, if you're not watching it for content like me, like if you're watching it in a serious manner, like to try and get something out of it, like you might not also be the brightest bulb in the bunch. I'm sorry to tell you that, if that's you. But anyway, I guess what I'm saying is I don't think that he has, like Adam in particular, because he is so dumb, can even aesthetically present himself as smart, even if he knows like just as little as everybody else on that podcast. So yeah, I don't know. That's how I feel about him.
And PBD. I think PBD is probably more embarrassed about it than Adam, because Adam has no shame. This guy went into the debate with the strategy of just bringing up someone else's debate with Dave. Like, he just kept saying Dave has no credibility left because he got destroyed in this debate with Coleman Hughes. So he basically just went on the show to tell Dave that he shouldn't be taken seriously and he has no credibility.
Bill Riley's looking
but
rough.
It just completely backfired. You know, Adam was already a total joke, but after this, I don't think anybody will take him seriously ever again. I mean, it almost felt like this guy was just trying to make himself look like an idiot. Piers had to ask him multiple times what the point is of bringing up that other debate, which most people watching probably haven't even seen. So Adam's like, oh, well, I can bring up other debates if you want. So that's like his only strategy, is just referring to other people's debates. So when Piers mentions that, Adam remembers the Douglas Murray-Dave Smith debate. And of course, Adam thought Douglas owned him by making a big deal about how Dave has never been to the Middle East. So Adam tries to use that tactic on him too, and it just ends so badly.
To pretend that it was an even match, an even debate, he put you in a body bag, and you're out here still doubling down on all your positions when he went methodically.
Not a real argument.
And surgically.
This is the saddest thing. I've never been in a debate where someone just fell back to someone else's debate. Boom, boom, boom. Name one of the booms. Make the point for yourself. Me and you are supposed to be debating here, brother.
The memo from
Say
Wesley
something.
Clark. The memo from Wesley Clark. Your whole
what's your point?
foundation for your Israel. So listen up, little guy.
My point to you, Adam, would
Little
simply be
guy.
it's an unusual debating strategy to spend 10 minutes of this
Yeah.
debate talking about another debate.
That's what I would be doing too, man. I would not be able to hold it together in this situation. I would almost, like, if I was him, I would legitimately start feeling bad. Like, I would be like giving him like puppy dog eyes. Like, oh my God. I must save him. Like, that's what I would be thinking. Like, I would have to like dunk on myself to like try and give him like a little bit of a win or something. But in the end, that would just come off as patronizing, and it would probably make him look even worse anyway. So yeah, this is rough,
Debate
dude.
that most viewers may not have seen.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
pretty
there's
ridiculous.
other debates that we can bring up. The fact, Dave, when's the last time you were in the
Go
Middle
ahead.
East?
Okay, so this is
I'm
what you're
asking you.
falling back to now. I have not been to the Middle East. Go do your best Douglas Murray acting
Okay.
job.
So-
Adam, brother, I was prepared
You've
to come
never
in here on
been,
friendly
right?
terms.
So why
you are
I
humiliating
don't care
yourself
if you're
right
here to
now,
be friends.
dude.
I'm really
you're
not.
humiliating
I'm really not. Dave,
yourself right now.
You've
Yeah,
been
I thought I
humiliating
heard something.
yourself. Do you see what's going on where Piers Morgan lives in London? Do you see what's going on all over the
I've been
world?
an advocate
Why are
of
you
strict
whitewashing
immigration
terrorism?
controls for many years.
You said that
Yeah. So to address his point seriously, you don't have to go to the Middle East to have opinions on the Middle East or whatever. You do have to like know something about it, either through like culture or through like history or politics or whatever lens you want to look at through. You have to know something about it to give like some discussion or like to talk about it, I guess, to an extent. But you don't have to go there. I always think that that's like a stupid argument. if you have the opportunity to go there and, you know, learn firsthand, that's great. That's great. That's another experience that you can, you know, put in your tool belt. But that's sort of like, what is it called? Standpoint epistemology or whatever, where like you have to have experienced something in particular to be able to commentate on it is just a way to shut down like real conversation.
You said that Dave couldn't talk about the Middle East because he hasn't been there much. When was
He
the
kind of
last
looks
time
like
you were
he's
in
gonna
England?
cry, dude. I think he's gonna cry. Man, oh, this is bad.
I spent much time in England. My ex-wife was Welsh.
When was the last
she
time?
She wasn't a sheepshagger.
When was the last time?
What?
The last time I was in Europe, in England, in the Middle East. Where would you like me to go?
No, England.
The last time I was in England was about 8 years ago.
Right. So this idea, let me tell you.
The last time I was in Israel.
Let me tell you.
The last time I was in Israel.
This idea
was 3 years ago.
Oh, Adam,
there is
dude,
a
I almost feel
weird
bad. Pierce,
idea.
do we have to put this episode out? I
Here's the
like
reason.
Adam.
There
We
is
don't
a
have to
weird
edit
idea.
that.
Adam. There are many people
Are you
on the...
saying that not going to a country?
Adam, many people...
Go ahead,
Hang on.
So I don't know why Adam would agree to do this. Like, how did he think this was going to go well? Already everybody finds him completely insufferable, and he thought this would help. So PBD was not happy about this appearance because he already gets a ton of shit for having Adam on his show, which is the only reason anybody even knows him. But I don't think Adam has enough self-awareness to realize how...
My event, my DSA event got moved to 6:30, so I can stay here a little bit longer. I can stay online till 6, people. You're welcome.
bad he looks and how he'd be nothing without PBD. He says he never reads comments, which is probably a lie, but he seems to think this debate went fine. He actually,
I truly don't. I feel like it impacts me, not negatively, but I feel like it makes me behave differently in my stream if I read comments. And I like the way that I act in stream, so I don't want to be impacted in that way. So I honestly, people, I will not be reading your comments. I'm sorry. You know, but I appreciate it if you do leave them, and feel free to leave some comments on this one. You can talk shit about me too if you want. That's fine. I'm not going to see it.
like, he doesn't even realize everybody thinks he's a joke, or maybe he just doesn't care, but he might need to start caring because PBD has had enough with his shenanigans and has been publicly calling him out on it. Like, also, if you remember last year, the whole crew seemed to be fed up with Adam because he acts like a diva, he parties too much, and he swears too much on the show. PBD had to call him out for that multiple times.
You probably have a problem with me too. I swear a lot. I didn't realize it until I watched back my stream. Like I just like throw in lots of cuss words in my conversations.
In Vegas, he went to, was it Dre's? Where were you? Were you at Dre's?
Yes.
Dragging Adam out of the club. Adam still hasn't slept. He's hammered. He smells like tequila.
Disgusting.
And vodka and a few other smells. We don't want to get into it.
But I
It's
got coffee. I got coffee. I'm okay.
But he got his coffee. He got everybody here working for him, getting him coffee, tea, napkins, back
Diva.
rub.
Total diva
The
needs
biggest
coffee.
diva that you got. Go to the back. All the people have been so nice to us, okay? Adam's put the entire crew to work. I'm so upset at Adam. They're so respectful to us. They're so nice to us.
You would associate with Andrew Tate. I can't believe that you would talk to Candace Owens. Oh, yeah? Shut the up. This is what we do. We talk to people. We hear the truth.
That's a regular thing for us. The reason why I'm getting
I'm
upset.
surprised they would talk to Candace Owens, to be honest, considering Candace Owens, like, proclamations like from the rooftop that Israel killed Charlie Kirk. Like, I feel like they might want to avoid her, but considering, like, my understanding is that the PBD podcast is like so like pro-Israel, like they like it's insane. Or at the very least, I know this guy in particular, PBD himself, is like very anti-Iran, I think, because I think he's an Iranian expat, or maybe his parents were or something. But you know how expats are, like expats who live in America, especially, they're like, it's very rare to find one that actually like loves and wants the best for their homeland or their fatherland or whatever. They usually just want to bomb them into oblivion like a bunch of psychopaths. So, but yeah, anyway.
That Adam is, I'm asking specifically, stop dropping F-bombs. I've asked him so many times. I don't like it.
My bad, sir.
So PBD isn't afraid to let his co-host hear it on air, which some people think is inappropriate. Like, it should be handled behind the scenes, but it's good entertainment. It's always pretty funny. Like, also recently, right at the start,
it is pretty rough though. If that happened to me in like a meeting or something, if I got dressed down like that in a meeting, I would be pretty upset. I would also, like, depending on depending on how bad it was, I would be ready to like quit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that would be like too embarrassing.
To one of the podcasts, PBD had to start lecturing his co-host for using his phone too much, and then he told somebody to take it away from him.
For the millionth time, Adam told you 20 times, turn on. Can you just grab the phone? Honestly, just grab the phone from him. Tom.
Done.
No,
It's done.
do me, Tom, no, I'm going to ask you one time. Put your phone over there, please. Can somebody grab Tom's phone and put it over there, please? Every podcast I have to ask you, and Adam, just ask you right now, we're live. Please give the phone to Mikel and put it over there. Thank you, Mikel. Okay. All right, let's get right into
Tom,
it.
we still
This is
love
a
you, though.
every time podcast.
So during the most recent episode, he brought up Adam's debate and was politely trying to tell him it made the brand and him look really bad. I think he's starting to be embarrassed that Adam's even associated with him because Adam's just so unlikable. And PBD is always talking about how people are reacting to things in the marketplace of ideas. You know, he's definitely been reading the comments about Adam, and he asked Adam how he thought he did during the debate, and I don't think his response made people.
See, Dave Smith, I think he's kind of, I guess he is a PBD fanboy. So, yeah, that's a little sad.
PBD feel any better about it?
Let's get right into it. Opening topic that I want to address with you guys is this. Adam, you were on the Dave Smith. You and Dave Smith did a debate together. Obviously, the market has responded. Dave has retweeted and said something about this is the end of Adam funeral. He made some comments that went viral. You've responded. You made some videos. I want you to share with us, because the audience is curious. They're asking me, what is your impression on how you did on the debate with Dave Smith?
Well, despite what you think, I haven't listened or watched any of the internet comments. Zero.
You.
I don't go onto Twitter. I don't check the comments. It's just not something that I do. And I'm listening to a song called "Ain't Nothing Gonna Break My Stride, Ain't Nothing Gonna Slow Me Down," and that's how I feel about this. There's no doubt that Dave Smith is smart or wise or well-read.
Yeah.
But just because you're smart doesn't mean you're wise.
Wait, sorry. I gotta go back real quick. I love one of my favorite things is when people inappropriately use air quotes. I do it like as a joke sometimes, like to be funny, but I gotta watch this again.
Slow me down. And that's how I feel about this. There's no doubt that Dave Smith is smart or wise or well-read.
wise.
Yeah. But just because you're smart doesn't mean you're wise.
He's smart or wise or well-read. I love inappropriate air quotes, dude. That is like a quintessential dumb person move. Like, that's like what they have in a movie when they're trying to show that somebody is dumb, is that they use like inappropriate air quotes. Like, yeah, I breathe air, like they'll do something like that to make you think that or like indicate to you that the person is dumb. Like, that's so funny.
Now, do I think Dave Smith is smart and capable? Sure. Do I think he's funny? No. Do I think he's right? Definitely not.
I'm asking you, how do you think you did?
It's right on.
I think I did
stuff.
fine. My intention wasn't to play nice. It's a big difference in the internet and comments in real life. I walk around in real life. I have zero issues.
You don't have issues there. That's not the conversation
so
I'm having.
The conversation that I was just basically establishing is that Dave Smith, as potent as he might be on a podcast or even on Joe Rogan's for that matter, people don't support this guy.
I think Joe's had him on 20, 30 times.
Irrelevant.
No, it's not irrelevant. So ask, what do you...
I mean, I think he's pretty popular. Now, like I said, I bet I disagree with Dave Smith on a lot of stuff, but I don't disagree that he is a good speaker, and I think that he is relatively intelligent. Okay, so he can do well on those types of shows. So I'll give him that.
Agree with the guy or not? Joe likes Dave, right? So the question you got to ask yourself is, from my perspective, there is issues, there is approach, there is what's next for you.
And PBD said he's already tried having this conversation with Adam off air a few times, but he never listens. So that's why he's forced to do it publicly now. But still, Adam isn't taking the feedback very seriously. Like, PBD keeps telling him something needs to change, he needs to evolve. But Adam's just like, I don't care what anybody thinks, I'm going to do what I want. So this is not the response PBD wanted to hear. And I think he's almost completely fed up with Adam at this point. Like, I'd imagine after the Dave Smith debate and how Adam handled the criticism from
Adam's
PBD
good
here,
content,
he's
dude.
definitely on the chopping block. Like, I don't think he'll ever understand.
Dude, the only time that I like that the lefty content creators that I watch ever watch the PBD show is because Adam said something fucking stupid. Like, seriously, like that's like the only draw for people like me. So if you get rid of Adam, then you're losing an entire demographic of people who watch the show just to dunk on Adam. So I don't know if it's a good business move, Mr. Business Boy, to get rid of this guy. He's pulling in a different demographic than what you do usually.
And how bad he looks and how bad that debate was. And PBD tries to explain it to him and how debates are supposed to go. And Adam's response is to bring up the Dave Smith Coleman Hughes debate again. It's hilarious. And then you could tell PBD is just like, all right, I'm never going to be able to get through to this guy.
And the reason why I'm doing this with you openly, and I'm talking to you openly with you, is there's an element of also representing where you're coming from. When you go and be professionals, that's not how I handle debates. That's not my MO. So if you're close to me and you're handling it that way, that is not my style. And by the way, the reason why I'm having this direct feedback with you publicly is for the following reason. This is how I roll, Adam. I will give you private feedback and have your back 100%. But if my private feedback that I'm giving doesn't land and it feels like you have immunity to go run around and say whatever you want and keep saying, I don't give a shit what people say, I do, but it's recreating for the next phase of what is that next phase for you. And that's a very important thing for you to be thinking about. This next phase requires all of us to recreate ourselves, and that includes you in a big way. And I've said this privately 8 weeks ago, 9 weeks ago at that dinner place we went to, and I was very direct with you. But you're cornering me to have to say this publicly to you right now. And you have to make a decision on what you want to do with this next phase. You got to recreate yourself.
Sure. I'll just break this down real quick. We didn't have this discussion prior. You just kind of preemptively brought this up, and I'm totally okay with it. If I wanted to have a ideological debate with Dave, I would probably rephrase it that the world is a dangerous place, and he wants to pretend that he's an ostrich and not engage with anybody. Debate.
Forget Dave Smith. This isn't a Dave Smith conversation. That could have been John Doe. I'm not talking.
But the point is that I'm trying to make with ideologically, we're not aligned.
What is the purpose of a debate?
To find the truth.
To the purpose, it's a clash of ideas.
Sure.
So somebody can watch and say, wow, good point. Never thought about.
No, that is not the purpose of debate. Debate exists at this point in time. Debate exists solely as a blood sport for people to dunk on their political enemies. That is the entire purpose of debate at this point. And to some extent, that has always been the point of debate. Do I think that debate has the potential to change some people's minds? Sure. But not really that much more than just going out and expressing yourself like on the internet or something, right? Like, I don't think there's much difference in terms of like going on and like debates can like raise the prominence of you as an individual if you have particular ideas that you want to get out there. However, in general, most debates are for just blood sport and for people to like see who owned the other person. And in the end, the person who, whether one person is smarter or makes better points is kind of irrelevant. The person who wins is the person who dunks on the other person more, basically. So that's kind of that's how I view debates in modern society.
About it that way.
The reason that I brought up the Coleman Hughes, and I encourage people to go watch it. This was the sort of like the swan song event. Imagine you hype up this event. Here's what's going on. The SLS is coming this weekend. Yeah. Here's what's going on. And this debate takes place, and it was a 12-0 drubbing. So that's my point. Should I have conveyed it a little bit better? Sure. Should I have not brought up someone else's debate in my debate? Yeah. Maybe I'll learn that for the next time. That's fine. But the reality is this.
You should have known that ahead of time. I'm just saying. That's a terrible, terrible way to try to debate somebody.
He got whooped.
Even from the perspective of it as a blood sport. That is a terrible argument to make. Nobody is going to see that as a good argument where you dunked on the other person.
In my debate, maybe I'll learn that for the next time. That's fine. But the reality is this. He got whooped and I called him out on it. That's all it was.
Yeah, but it was your fight and his.
Sure. For the next time, I'll debate him just heads on.
So I don't know if Adam will be around much longer. You know, if PBD gets rid of him, it's over. Like, nobody will listen to him on his own. Like, right now, the only reason people listen to him is because they're forced to when they listen to the show. People just suffer through it, and they always say Adam's the worst part. Like if Adam gets fired, I'm sure people will be celebrating in the comments. So
Not me. I would be out there protesting the PBD show. I would have my picket sign or like my my sign out there. I'd be walking around. I'd say, "Bring Adam back. Bring Adam back. He is content. He is content." That's what I'd be doing. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and move on